We've made it. Training camp. Vikings training camp is here. They've reported today is the first day that they're practicing. We're already getting the reports, from from all the from all the media. Um, we made it, man. I haven't made a video on this channel in almost 2 months. Not that there's been much to talk about. Very quiet. I mean, has there been anything, even like the slightest bit of news in the last 2 months? So I figured might as well get on here, do like a little training camp preview. Um, Obviously, it's all about everything. This whole season is about JJ McCarthy. What do we got with this guy? Um, you know, very promising, teaser last year in the preseason, but then he's hurt and he's out for the season. Um, every report, everything you hear, everything, it's promising. It sounds like this, sounds like he, you know, coaches love him, teammates love him. Everything. He's he's hitting every benchmark that you want him to hit. But we got to see what he's like on the field, because this is the whole season. This is the whole 2025 season for the Vikings. Is what is JJ McCarthy able to be and able to be right now? So his progression will be the A topic. There's some other topics I didn't. Probably should have made a little list or something. Um, uh, you know, Obviously we've made all these additions on defense. Um, should be really really good on defense this year. Still a little thin in a couple positions. There's still a chance that we're going to have some new guys coming in here. Before what the hell is the date for the opener in Chicago, the Monday night game? That's like September. What is that, September 10th or something? I don't know what it is. I'd have to look. I promise I'll be more prepared for future videos this year. Hey, I'm rusty. I haven't done these in a while. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like the offense will go through McCarthy, but loaded up. Hawkinson, full participant. This is he's not coming off a major injury this year. We got the Jordan Addison thing where he did. He might be facing a suspension early in the season. We'll see what happens there. So it's like, who's going to be like the number 3 receiver? Is it going to just be Naylor again or somebody else? Christian Darrisaw. Obviously, he had his season-ending injury. Late October. Don't expect to see him at all in preseason, but sounds like there's a pretty good chance he'll be good to go at the start of the season. There'll be camps. There's always like guys who show out, and who was the one last year that everyone Nudie Dwight McGlothern was the guy who everyone kind of like, hey, this undrafted guy, and he showed out and made the team. There's always a couple. The Vikings have probably been historically as good as just about any team as far as like finding, the undrafted gems. Having Pace, another one recently. So we'll be following all the camp battles, but it's all about McCarthy. And I think I probably said something like this before, but what he can be in year one as a starter determines what this team can do. Because I think this team could be a legitimate Super Bowl contender if McCarthy is really good right away. The high end of the hopes is like he can be like Dante Culpepper in his first year as a starter, because it was a similar situation. He was drafted high, didn't play the first year. That wasn't because of injury, but didn't play. But then year 2 he comes out and he was great. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship game, and then of course they had to cancel the game for unfortunate reasons, so they never got to play that in this championship game. Yeah, um, but that's like the high end of the expectations. I think it's more realistic that he's going to be okay. Like you know, I going back to when we drafted him. I wasn't. He was not the guy that you know that you know I wanted. I personally would have been more interested in getting Penix or even Bo Nix, but you know, we didn't have a chance to get Penix, so get who we get. But I mean, I think he's in the great situation to succeed with KOC, QB Whisperer, and all the talent around him. And they've loaded this team up with talent. We have the talent on defense and on offense. Obviously, the you know the the fortified offensive line. This team can really go far if JJ McCarthy's ready, and it's a lot to ask of the kid. I can call him a kid because he's like freaking half my age, for God's sakes. that alone takes some adjustment to to root for teams with a quarterback that young. Um, but if he's able to play at a high level right away, like let's say a Pro Bowl level, and I know Pro Bowl doesn't mean anything anymore, but let's say he's at that level, so like a little better, better than what like say Teddy was his first year. Um, yeah, this team can win a lot of games. They can certainly win the North. They can get in the playoffs and go far. I mean, you know, the NFC is there to be had. I mean, I know the Eagles they were pretty damn dominant for a lot of the season last year, but you know what? Teams don't repeat very often. It's a very rare thing. Even just going to two straight Super Bowls, it's very rare. You know, the division's going to be pretty unpredictable because I think Detroit's going to come back a little bit. And I think the Vikings are going to come back too. I don't think the Vikings are going 14-3, even if McCarthy is at that high level of performance. Um, Green Bay, Chicago maybe will be a little better. Who knows? But you know, you know, if if we strike gold on McCarthy, I'm keeping my expectations trying to keep very mild because I just wasn't the biggest fan of him to begin with. But I'm a fan of KOC. He knows what he's doing. Like, I mean, look what he did with Sam Darnold. I know it turned into a fiasco there those last couple of games, but they still went 14-3 with Sam Darnold at quarterback, and you know, and I bought in stupidly. It was like, oh, we gotta sign Darnold, and you know, it ended in a flop, but I still think the fact is just that you won that many games and got as far as you did with that quarterback. Um, and you know what? Frankly, look, to be fair, we'll be lucky if JJ McCarthy has as good of a season this year as Darnold did last year. That's realistic. Realistic take, but you know, hopefully, hopefully he, we've seen not just like go back, the fucking Culpepper thing's 25 years ago. God, I'm old. But we've seen it with other quarterbacks. I mean, obviously, he's not going to do what Patrick Mahomes did after sitting for a year and then coming in instantly being the best quarterback in football for half a decade. No, that's not going to happen. But we've seen other guys who sit for a year or even a couple years, and then they're ready. So if he's done what he's supposed to be doing, he's certainly got the coaching. I think surrounding talent. We can have a fun season. Just glad to have him back. Glad to have it back. You know, we got what would be I think it's like 2 weeks from this Saturday is their first preseason game. We get a couple home preseason games this year, hoping to maybe go to one of them, even though they are preseason games. But it's fun just to get back in the Purple Palace. And then 6-7 weeks away from Monday Night Football opener at the dreaded Soldier Field. And then the week after that, we come home and have the home opener against the Dirty Birds. Um, so I don't know. I'm just rambling. Here's to another season of me doing rambling videos that go on way too long and annoy the scant few people who actually watch. So, but I figured I'd just knock one out, proof of life. And video in 2 months. If you thought I was dead, no, I didn't die. Just living life, waiting for football. So let's see what happens with all the fun shenanigans of training camp, preseason, and hope we have a fun season ahead.